Good evening, welcome back to 102.7 Chop FM. It is Wednesday night, roughly 8:30 p.m. We are Nerds of the North. I am DJ Bodobo.
I am a DJ Padawan.
To start you off tonight with tonight's show, we played The Final Countdown by Europe and The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh yeah.
Two awesome rockin' tracks right there.
Fantastic.
Being April 2nd, it means we have survived another April Fool's.
And none of us were made fools.
Yes, none of us. I was not made a fool. I avoided the internet for the most part. It becomes obvious what to avoid.
It also bleeded out over the radio waves this year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's nothing like waking up early in the morning to an April Fool's prank on the radio. Like if your alarm clock is the radio, and it would be pretty cool to be a radio DJ early in the morning because you could freak some people out.
You could, yes.
Like if you catch somebody off guard, they just don't know exactly what day it is, or they forgot, and you just totally.
Well, our one boss there came in yesterday, totally convinced that the Ninja Turtles movie had changed its release date.
Yeah.
That it got pushed back again. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it didn't. I just looked it up this morning.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to start you off with a little bit of gaming news here. Not a lot of major releases. There's a new Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, which is... It's not a 2D game, it's not a 3D game, it's a 2.5D game, apparently. I don't know. This is for PC, PS3, the 360, the Wii U, the 3DS, just about every platform out there. I don't know. It's like more of an arcadey kind of Batman game, I think.
Okay.
On later this week we have Elder Scrolls Online for PC. I must stress, so you console users cannot get it yet. Early access has already started, so if you have pre-ordered, I believe I can't remember what I believe if you pre-order the game, you get a couple days early access. And on the Wii U, there's a couple of virtual console games that came out. Metroid Fusion and Game Boy Wars Advanced 1 and 2. Obviously, both of these games were Game Boy Advance games. So those are available on Virtual Console on the Wii U, I believe, for $10 a pop. A little Microsoft Windows news here. Xbox finally has a new. Well, I guess it's the head of Xbox. It's not really a CEO of any kind, but like he's the head of the Microsoft Xbox division. Phil Spencer, who is taking over for Mark Wheaton. He was the former Xbox corporate vice president, so he's been in the company for a long time. You've seen this guy on. Actually, no, he was the former head of Microsoft Game Studios. So when you would see E3 or PAX or any of the major gaming events, he would most likely be the one on stage presenting Microsoft's head title game. So that, I don't know, that's interesting. If you're a Windows 8 user, there's a new update coming out on April 8th. This is pretty much backtracking the whole purpose of Windows 8 and adding in more keyboard and mouse functionality. And then bringing back the right click and all the jazz that they got rid of for whatever reason. So I don't know. It kind of it makes sense. You can see where if a product gets enough reviews or feedback to the point where you're like they have to change it. Like Windows 8, I kind of get where they were going with it, but I don't think this is the time for it. I think it's a little too early to try and force touchscreens upon people all at once kind of thing. Like if you're gonna do a PC, you don't want all touchscreen. Like if you've been used to a mouse and keyboard for years and years and years, you don't want a touchscreen. No.
Let's just say that the PC gaming group will not be using Windows 8.
No, that was the whole thing. So for Microsoft to kind of keep pushing the whole gaming on Windows 8 kind of thing, I don't see it going just yet. Maybe somewhere down the line, not today. And then also I believe it was today, Microsoft reveals, this has been rumored for a while, Cortana for the Windows Phone 8.1. So you basically have Siri for the iPhone, but it's Cortana and Cortana's voice, I believe. Yes. So you have Cortana. Yeah. This this makes me want to get a Windows Phone. This right here alone kind of sells me a little bit. Because I think that is awesome. Cortana. You have Cortana on your Windows Phone. So, and I know you were looking at, I believe what was the Nokia one with the camera on
The
it?
Lumia 1020.
Yeah, that's a Windows Phone, I believe.
It is a Windows Phone.
Yeah.
The one reason I was debating on not getting it was because it was a Windows Phone and I didn't want to have anything Windows 8.
Yep. So, I don't know, man. Like, it kind of splits the line right there. You want Cortana, but you don't want Windows. See, watch. Somebody will rip it off and put it on the iPhone. They'll figure it out somehow. Also, if you're a fan of Tropico, which is... it's hard to explain. It's almost like SimCity slash...
It's SimCity if you were the warlord of your own island.
Yes, I guess so. So Tropico 5 has a release date for PC, which is May 23rd. The game is scheduled to be released on Mac, 360, the PS4, and I would imagine the Xbox One and the PS3. I don't know. I couldn't find that information. This is going to be the time that I hop on the Tropico bandwagon, I think. I've taken a look at some of the screenshots from this game, and it's looking pretty good. And it looks like right up my alley. I've looked at the Tropico series in the past. I just didn't really know what it was all about. I knew it was kind of building a city roughly, but I didn't know if it was as simple as SimCity or Age of Empires or anything like that. Oh yes. More limited edition Nintendo consoles here. Disney Magical World, which is a game coming out on April 11th.
With the Mario or the Mickey console?
Yeah, you can get a Mickey 3DS XL, or if you go to GameStop, you can get a Peach Pink 2DS. So I believe I don't think the Mickey XL is exclusive to any stores as far as I know.
Well, I've seen that Peach Pink also be advertised as the Kirby.
Oh.
Because they're pretty much the same color.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I could see that. There was an article I thought was interesting. I thought it was worth mentioning. You've probably seen this. Square Enix.
Going back to basics?
Yeah, the CEO... trying to think of the name. Yosuke Matsuda has come out and said they've lost their focus in the past, and seeing the success of Bravely Default has them wanting to go back to basics, not just back to JRPGs, but I guess more in the sense, considering they've been doing a lot of other stuff for the past 5 to 10 years almost. Like Final Fantasy is kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't know. Like it'll be because as of right now they're developing Hitman. They're doing another Tomb Raider game, I believe. There's 2 other games in development, but nothing JRPG kind of. So
no, the next JRPG that I'm aware of would be Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, that's coming out soon. I'm pretty sure.
It should be this year or early next year.
Oh, okay. And then the last little bit of release news here, Alien Isolation, which we talked about. Yes, which we talked about a while ago, which is...
This game looks like it's going to scare the living daylights out of you.
Yeah, Alien Isolation, which is supposed to capture the essence of Ridley Scott's classic Alien film. Alien Isolation is coming out October 7th for the PS4, the Xbox One, the PS3, and the 360, and PC.
Fantastic.
So that's good to hear. I did have one little bit of news. It probably could go in your section, but just because I mentioned it before, Frozen has now surpassed Toy Story 3 in the highest grossing animated film of all time, which, what was it, 2 weeks ago, where it was a little bit behind. It was still, I think it was still like 50 million short or something like that. But and then it is now in the top 10 of highest grossing films ever. So that's pretty astounding.
It definitely is, yes.
Yeah, that blows my mind, really.
Considering it's only had its home video release for 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it's been out on Blu-ray for about 2 weeks. They released the sales figures too. It's made just about as much money in the U.S. or in North America as it has in the rest of the whole world. So like both of those totals pretty much equal, and they all add up to this massive number.
Lovely.
In the billions. That's about it for gaming news this week.
Okay. Well, going to take a little break here before we get on to movie and entertainment news. So it's time for our nostalgic break here on 102.7 Chop FM. So we have a triple set here set up for you, all by the same artist. Hope you enjoyed these ones. These ones are certainly going to get some laughs. So to start off our nostalgic break, here is Weird Al Yankovic, I Think I'm a Clone Now. Welcome back to 102.7 Chop FM. We are the Nerds of the North, and that was our nostalgic break. To start us off there, we had I Think I'm a Clone Now by Weird Al. Following that was Yoda, once again by Weird Al. And rounding off the triplet, we have Weird Al's The Theme from Rocky 13, or otherwise known as The Rye or the Kaiser. Okay, that was an interesting little set list to play.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Good little music there to sit down and relax to. So, starting off for our entertainment news for this week, we have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes actor, Toby Kebbell, has taken on the role of Victor Von Doom. Do you know who Victor Von Doom is?
I believe.
Victor Von Doom, otherwise known as Dr. Doom, is the villain for the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
One of the primary villains for the Fantastic Four, and he will be the villain in the new Fantastic Four film.
Makes sense.
Now, Fox has an upcoming Batman-inspired series called Gotham.
Yep.
We've already found out that they've got their Commissioner Gordon. They've got their Alfred. Well, they have now cast the Riddler. And the Riddler is being played by Corey Michael Smith. He looks the part. I want to know which version of the Riddler he's actually doing.
Yeah. Was this the project that I heard that they were going to do the Penguin as well?
Oh, yes. They've also casted Oswald Cobblepot.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I remember hearing about that, and I was like, is this what they're talking about?
Oh, yeah. They're getting all the Batman villains.
That's awesome.
Now, when I was growing up, my dad was watching some films called the Pink Panther series. I knew the Pink Panther from the cartoon. So I sat down to enjoy one of these movies with him. Boy, was I disappointed. The movies that he was watching had nothing to do with the Pink Panther. The Pink Panther, yes, was the series, but not the animated cartoon Pink Panther.
Yeah, I had the same problem as a child.
Well, now the Pink Panther is set to return to live action, including some CG hybrids. In a feature with MGM distributing it, the film will focus on the Pink Panther character rather than Inspector Clouseau. Now, don't get me wrong, Peter Sellers does an amazing Inspector Clouseau, something Steve Martin just couldn't pull off.
Another movie that kind of did that for me. I don't know about you, but because right around the time there was a Mr. Magoo cartoon, and then there was the live action, and I can't remember which one. I'm pretty sure I seen the live action first.
You saw the live action with Leslie Nielsen?
Yeah. And then the cartoon came out, and I was just, I don't know, I couldn't...
It's completely different for you?
Yeah, I don't know, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah. All right. Unfortunately, with the tragedy that happened all those months ago, cameras have now begun rolling again on Fast and the Furious 7.
Yes.
They are expecting to be in theaters with a release date of April the 10th, 2015. So, best of luck to you. I wish you the a flawless production for the rest of your run, and hope to see this in theaters when it comes out.
Yep.
Now, everybody knows J.K. Rowling is famous for her Harry Potter series.
Yes, of course.
Now, she did have a spin-off novel, which was entitled Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers has picked her up for another film.
Of course.
Not just one, but a full trilogy.
See, I think it's good that they're doing backstory before, because the inevitable will happen eventually where they're
You are going to see recognizable characters, I'm sure.
Maybe, but then to do the before story, and then maybe they'll hint a couple things here.
Yeah,
and there from
give
the
us more of a
series.
background before you try
Yes.
to take the story further.
That's the whole thing. Like, you
Yeah.
know they're gonna do it eventually, but it's nice because movies always think, when you think about Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, they did Lord of the Rings first, and
then they went back to The Hobbit.
They're like, oh, like, well, if they
But
would
they
have.
will not go on further than that. I'm almost certain. There's only one other Tolkien piece left for them to
Yeah.
do, and Peter Jackson has flat out said he is not touching Silmarillion.
Well, he said no to The Hobbit, so
He said no to The Hobbit, but the project began and he was a producer.
yeah, that's
So
that's true.
he just flat out has said no.
Yeah.
Anyways, J.K. Rowling's Fantastical Beasts will be developed as a movie trilogy. The main character, Newt Scamander, is a magizoologist in New York, and the film will be set 70 years before Mr. Potter and his friends show up.
Yeah, that's an interesting timeline.
It is.
I don't know.
First of all, New York.
Yeah.
Magic in New York.
Yeah, that is kind of
I haven't read the book. I wonder if the zoo's in Central Park.
probably.
That'll be interesting.
Probably.
Well, that's primarily it for our entertainment news today. Now, we do have movie releases and, of course, Blu-ray releases and coupled into the same category. And coming out tomorrow with advanced showings is Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Now, there was actually a contest. Did you get the email from Fan Expo?
I don't think so.
I got given an email from Fan Expo where if I replied to the email, I only didn't do it because I was working that day, I could have been entered into a draw to win one of the 300 seats that they were putting up to see Captain America the Winter Soldier on Monday. And
Where, downtown?
it was across Canada, and for Ontario it was the Scotiabank Theatre. That would have been nice to see. I've been to one other premiere like that
Yeah, that's
before, and that was for The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
yeah. That would have been one to go like dress up for. That's,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to go through the security pat down
yeah,
in costume.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, we also have, coming out this Friday, Island of Lemurs, Madagascar.
Which we had to do a little bit of.
We had to do a little bit of research on this. This is not Madagascar as you think it is. It's not the animated. This is a documentary shot with the IMAX camera and will be presented in IMAX 3D. A documentary about lemurs, narrated by Morgan Freeman.
Who else?
Of course, who else? I think he's going to earn about 16 freckles with this. Sorry, that's a South Park joke.
I'll be happy if anybody even.
Yes, we'll be happy if anybody catches that, but
Yeah.
yeah, South Park joke. Coming out on Blu-ray yesterday, and they weren't jokes. I kind of wish one of them was. 47 Ronin.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have to see this monstrosity.
Yeah.
Anchorman 2 has come out as well.
Another disaster.
Ice Age 4, or Ice Age, the 4-film box set.
Ugh.
So, if you didn't already have a bunch of them, this would be a good way to pick them up.
I'm pretty sure I still have the first one on VHS.
I have the first one on DVD.
I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, that might have been. No, that's about right. That's when DVD started coming in.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's true.
We have the 5th movie in the Princess Fairy storyline from Disney. This is The Pirate Fairy.
Oh.
Story roughly around the Pirate Fairy is one of the fairies leaves whatever the name of the place is. It's something hollow. But she's become obsessed with the blue pixie dust. Heads off joins up with the pirate crew, where she quickly befriends the young captain, who apparently is the cabin boy, but the cabin boy is Captain James Ho, or will be Captain James Hook.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting, and Tinkerbell has to go and convince her to come back. And you know, I'm cool with the fairies talking when it's just them, but if they're trying to communicate with somebody who isn't a fairy, it had better just be a jingling bell.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a purist that way. I like my Tinkerbell not talkative. Also on Blu-ray yesterday, we had Star Trek Enterprise Season 4. Yeah.
Wasn't season 3 like a month ago? Like
Season 3 was a month ago.
Okay,
They're getting it out.
I remember saying something to you.
No, you see, this is what they're doing. They're getting the poor Star Trek series out before they start bringing DS9 and Voyager to Blu-ray.
So you're just sitting
Yes,
there waiting.
I did just say Voyager was a better Star Trek show, and I'm almost certain a lot of fans out there would agree with me. It might not be the best, but when you compare it to Enterprise, Janeway's suddenly not such a sour pill to swallow. Well, that's it for our entertainment news so far. We have seen that they are starting to announce guests now for Fan Expo.
Yep.
I believe last week we covered that it was just the only person announced was Bruce Campbell.
Yep.
Shortly after that, they've released Nathan Fillion will be there, so that is fantastic. We aim to misbehave. Oh, I can't wait to see Captain Mal Reynolds again. Then 4 stars of The Walking Dead were announced.
Yep.
I believe one was Chandler Riggs,
Yep.
the actor.
I can't remember all their real names.
We have... I can't remember all their real names. I don't even watch the show, so I can't remember their character names. I know it's the girl with the katana.
Yep.
One of them's the governor.
Yep.
And I kind of think it was Daryl. I'm not 100% sure.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It is Daryl? Okay. All right. So those 4 have come out, and just recently announced Stan Lee.
Yeah.
He's been to almost every fan expo that I've seen. So good to have him come back. This is the 20th anniversary of Fan Expo, so they're bringing back all their main stars. I want to see if Alice Cooper's coming back.
That'd be cool.
I want Patrick Stewart and the Star Trek Next Gen crew to show up.
Well, you see Patrick Stewart and what's his face? They posted a whole bunch of pictures of them in New York. Just tourist.
Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen?
Yes.
Yes. I knew exactly where you were going with this one.
The headline was like Patrick Stewart and whatever is New York's best tourists or whatever, and it's just pictures of them all around the city in their like weird outfits.
You know what?
I know.
They've earned whatever they want to do, and I'm glad to see that they're having a fun time.
Yeah, they're pretty cool guys.
That's the best. Now, there is one additional story that we have here. Do you remember Top Gun?
Yeah.
That movie was fantastic. That is the movie that I still swear, you want to test out your 5.1 system, you put on Top Gun, and you listen to your windows rattle.
Yeah.
Because the opening for Top Gun is amazing. Now, for those of you out there who maybe have been hiding under a rock and didn't know what Top Gun was, Top Gun's a movie about fighter pilots who are being sent to a school to learn dogfighting skills.
Yep.
Because in recent times they've gotten more dependent on missile and missile lock, that they haven't been able to engage one-on-one in a dogfight. Well, starring in this we have Meg Ryan, we have Tom Cruise, and Val Kilmer. We also have Michael Ironside as one of the teachers of the school. And it's quite the good... Ooh, there's also James Tolkien.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Principal Strickland from Back to the Future is actually the battleship commander.
That's pretty funny.
It's a good movie. It's a good, solid action film to watch. The reason I'm bringing it up is Tom Cruise and Jerry Bruckheimer have been talking to each other about Top Gun 2, which is in development. Now, Top Gun 2, they say it's going to be a film that will focus on drones. And I have a quote here. The concept is basically, are the pilots obsolete because of drones? Well, Cruise is going to show them that they're not obsolete, and they're here to stay. Sure he will.
It's a good storyline, but
It sounds like it's going to be very interesting.
I just want Cruise to go away.
I don't mind seeing Tom Cruise in this role. I liked him as Maverick.
Yeah.
He did a good job as Maverick. But you know what? If they're out there and they're listening, bring back Val Kilmer because you need Iceman as the wingman. Come on.
It would be fun.
That'll make the movie perfect.
It'd be hilarious if he came back for that.
Yes.
Did you see the story over the weekend? I was hoping there was a video or something for it about the firefighters who sang "Let It Go" to a little girl.
I have heard of that.
Yeah,
and that was really a sweet thing to see.
I was hoping it was the actual video, but they just replayed those guys singing the song or whatever. But yeah, there was a group. This was in Boston. A group of firefighters were rescuing a mother and her 9-year-old daughter from an elevator, and the girl,
9-year-old daughter was terrified.
Yeah, she was really scared, and then they were talking to her through the door, and one of the firefighters asked if she liked Frozen, and she said yes, and then the one firefighter started singing the song, and then they all started singing the song. I don't know, I thought that was really cool.
That is a very, very sweet thing.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I hope someone forwarded that video over to Idina Menzel.
Yeah, to see that, yeah, that's...
Because I'm sure that would have brought a smile to her face.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that brings us to the end. We're slightly early this week, but not very much in the news this week.
Yeah.
So that'll be it for us today for Nerds of the North. Thank you for listening. Of course, thank you to our fantastic parent station here, 102.7 Shop FM, for letting us do this. Now, we're going to leave you with a song that is one of my personal favorites. It has something to do with what we've talked about tonight. And I also know it is Sterling Archer's favorite song.
Yes.
And if you get that reference, I'm glad you did. Here we go with Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone.